All Trump. It's all Trumpy outside. Everybody out there, they see it's getting a little Trumpy outside. Yeah, so Donald Trump has definitely, my goodness, he's put something in play that his whole tax scheme has worked to perfection. He's made the billionaires more money than anybody has ever seen. They got $700 billion up under the new Trump tax. Yeah, that tax surge with Trump, them billionaires are not complaining about Trump. We might be in a government shutdown, but not old Trump, baby. If you rolling with Trump, you ain't. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. That's what I always say. It's all about who you rolling with. Oh yeah. Oh, Oxfam, they the ones who are responsible for this. That is correct, sir. Over the past year, 10 of the richest U.S. billionaires collectively added 700 billion to their net worth, and they consists of prominent figures in the tech sector, capitalizing on all the advancements in the technology and artificial intelligence circles. Now, the top billionaires who are leading this wealth surge: Oracle, Larry Ellison, Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Larry Page from Google, Sergey Brin from Google, Mark Zuckerberg from Meta, Jensen Hong from Nvidia, Steve Ballmer, the Larry O.B. baby, that Larry O.B. ex from Microsoft exec, then Michael Dell from Dell Computers. Those billionaires have made and gained about 69.8 billion each, magnifying the stark contrast between their wealth and the economic realities that the average American household go through. Meanwhile, everybody else is broke. Country shut down. The 10 billionaires is 833,631 times greater than the earnings of the typical United States family, which reportedly on average income is about 84K. So alarming, around 40% of American households are classified as poor or low income, which underscores all the widening gap in the nation. So the impact of the economic trends don't seem to change one bit. The reports indicate that structured wealth inequity has persisted for decades. From 89 to 2023, all the households in the top 1% has gained significantly more wealth compared to the average families. Concurrently, the richest 1% or 0.1% of America controls a staggering 12.6% of the national assets and 24% of the stock market. In contrast, right, the bottom half people that's there, the population owns a mere 1.1% of these assets that they got out. Now, the demographic disparities that they have is that women and people of color have faced the burnt of the, this burnt feeling of like, man, this inequality is what's killing me. Male headed households, they've amassed wealth about 4 times the rate compared to the female led households. White households have seen wealth grow from 7.2 times that of black households and 6.7 times more than the Hispanic and Latino households. Despite, right, equality, right? They're losing. We're losing America, DI. If you are losing, white folks, who is winning? Who is winning? Y'all make it's funny that you guys wanted to be the hero and the victim at the same time. Y'all want to be, they was like, man, I want to be a victim. I want all that love and sympathy for me. I've never seen anybody be a oppressor and then get mad that they're not getting sympathy for being an oppressor. It's like, wait a minute. You're the oppressor and you want the sympathy too? Damn. Policy influences everything. This is what Kwame Brown has stated, I have stated, is that policy is what governs us. We've all said that. The policies. And that's what you need to understand. That's what influences the wealth. See, the Trump administration's policies, particularly the one big beautiful bill, that is just so stupid, have been identified, right, as exacerbating this big wealth divide. This legislation enacted in July is aimed at reducing tax burdens for the ultra rich. So they're expected to save them about $300,000 plus by 2027. So conversely, low income individuals earning less than 15K will see an increase in their tax liabilities. All of that. Right? So now that all of it's done, all the challenges they got coming ahead, the US gonna rank the lowest amongst all the developing nations regarding its tax, the transfer system, all the effectiveness. They're trying to come back in quality, and the country is grappling with high levels of relative property, economic challenges. See, this current trend signal a looming recession with 22 states already experiencing this economic contractions. So Mark Zandi, who is what they call the chief economist at a place called Moody's, they talking about we're going to emphasize this precarious situation of lower income households. We're going to do risk living costs and add an increase in layoffs. Many families right now are finding the financial stability threatened. The reports are painting a concerning picture of the economy where the rich continue to accumulate all this wealth while significant portions of the population struggle to make ends meet. How is this possible? How is this possible? Why does this keep going on? Because it's what you vote for. This is what you vote for. That's why I said, if you're not in the 1%, I don't know why the hell you're voting for Donald Trump, because it does not work for you. Now, when I say it doesn't work for you, what I mean is that all of these obstacles that you normally see on your everyday basis don't work for you. The man that's delivering the groceries, he don't work for you. Nope. None of that works for you. You know what works for you? You. That's it. Independent contractor. Learning trades. You make fun of plumbers, but the plumber got a job. Somebody's always gonna need plumbing work. AI ain't gonna replace the plumber man. No matter how hard they try, AI ain't getting rid of the plumber. I don't think you're gonna have a bunch of robots building your house. You're gonna need construction. That new bathroom, that new sink. Well, it ain't gonna fix itself. Somebody's gonna have to get out there and do the work. Somebody's got to get their hands into the grease. They got to dip their hand into the filth and bring it out. Well, it's just like this, man. People don't want to, it's a lot of people that don't want to be considered victims anymore. But you put yourself in a victim state. You're saying, well, what does that even mean? I don't even understand what that sounds like. What it sounds like is this. Everything that you believe in, that you told yourself, I believe, you really don't, to be honest. Of course. Because you're always going to need somebody. And when I mean need somebody, I mean just that. You're going to always need somebody to be on your side or have some support. There's a lot going on, bro, in this country. And there's a lot of stuff that's on the table that other people just don't understand and don't know. And it's real. I'm serious. It's real. Ain't nothing fake about it. It's 100% real. Oh, it was always like that. Now look, if you could fool yourself if you want. There's a lot of people that believe in it. For instance, man, have you ever seen somebody that gets smacked around just for living? They ain't did nothing for nobody. A guy be walking in the hallway at school, see another kid and slap him. And they laugh. And then they will just go about their business. Because they what? Don't respect or don't expect retaliation. That wasn't on his mind when he got hit. That was the last thing he was thinking about when he got hit in the face, right? So he got smacked in the mouth. The last thing he thought about was, hey, I just got hit in the mouth, man. I didn't even do anything. That's some bull, man. That was the last thing that individual was thinking about. Now, I want you to keep that in mind. As we got everybody a chance to earn money and save it the real way. And if anybody has done or got involved that time when I told them to sign up, you didn't lose money all through this recession. You didn't lose one dime. If anybody's in here who signed up with me, did you lose any money? Matter of fact, your stock went up, didn't it? Your numbers went up. Throughout all of this, 13 straight months, you did not have one decline. Right, so all you guys who signed up with me, Lamar said it, NWA, you didn't have, in 13 months and counting, no downage, did you? You know why? Because the money's in the right place. That's why they don't let everybody in. He said ever since November 2024, when Trump won. So when the door opened up and we let everybody start coming in the door with us, we said, well, everybody come on aboard. Everybody get on board, because this thing finna blow. And I want y'all here when this thing blow up. Now, concerns. The concern of the people. As all of these things are going on, and people are detailing things that they don't like, you know, things that they're noticing and seeing, and like trends and stuff, they're not accustomed to seeing. They don't like it. So, of course, when people see things they don't like or they're not used to seeing, what they do? They hate on it, right? But with Trump, the wealthy 1% are getting paid. Meanwhile, you got everybody else fighting for the regular common American families. The billionaires are getting considerably rich. And no one's noticed the game is rigged. So you have to bet pretty much like a billionaire and bet with billionaires. You got to say, hey, how can a small person like me get involved in what they're doing? Because they're not taking losses. Billionaires don't get to become billionaires by taking losses. If they take a loss somewhere else, they got to make it back somewhere else. They're the ultimate hustlers. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, do you think hustling is selling drugs? That's hustling? It's not hustling. That's a cop-out. That's a last resort option. Told you. Hustling, my buddy he was selling them 25-cent juices. He'd buy all them cases of juices. He had candy all out his house. And he had an auto repair shop. He could fix your radio. He'll fix your car. All of it. One-stop shop. Them little papaya juices. He was getting them for $0.25, selling them for 75 cents. I was like, man, I used to drink this for lunch. These papaya juices. Give me 2 papaya juices and a cheeseburger. And that was our lunch. Oh man, when people are on the lam, man, they don't know what to do. They're not used to being in a crunch. They don't know what that feels like. See, the narratives always change for people, you know? They rig the game for those they want it rigged for. Yep. You want to know why? You want to know why this works so much? Here's why it works so much, right? You see how I just got up off the couch? I was laying on the couch, comfortable, laid back, chilling, right? Then all of a sudden, I get up and boom, I'm in the midst of a walk. Just that quick. It went from me being in my house to me getting on my shoes, getting out of my comfort to come outside and say, this is what I need to do today. You believe that? Got out of my comfort to make that happen. For myself. As easy as it looks, you will be surprised how many people who are really comfortable saying, I'll do it tomorrow. And that I'll do it tomorrow attitude is the same reason we're in this right now. And why the billionaires keep laughing, keep making money. Right up under you. They got more grind and more hustles and more connections. Because billionaires only want to connect with people that can help make them money or want to work with them. I go to billionaire seminars to acquire information. I'll pay this little bit of money to get the hotels, get in a suit, network with a bunch of people that I never would have probably met again in life. And we're all networking. And we're all there to acquire the information. And they always bring a celebrity speaker. And guess who that speaker used to be? Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, who was pretty much a nobody. I'm serious. Trump was a nobody at this time. Like, he was a known figure, like, oh, look, it's Trump. Nobody cared. I mean, seriously, nobody's like, oh, it's Donald Trump. No, nobody cared. So the fact that now he's the president of the United States is like almost like a comedy. In 2005, 2006, nobody cared about Donald Trump. I mean, period. You would see him be like, oh, look, it's Trump. Seriously, I'm very serious. Like, no one, he would just walk by. What's up? Hey, how you doing? I mean, he thought he was cool. I already told you the story of how he just hovers over people until you acknowledge him. But other than that, we had no dislike for the man or anything. But what get me is all these people that fight for you to love and appreciate this man. Like, I'm like, what has he done that I need to love and appreciate? I mean, you gotta say, like, he's saving America. What America? Which America are you talking about? Because if you're thinking this is one America that's helping all of us, you gotta be insane to see where this country is right now and what we're going through, and sit up there and be like, man, Trump doing a good job, man. Shoot. Look at what he doing. Government lockdown. Hey, man, insurance finna go up 50%, man. Hey, but look, housing rates are dropping. I'm about to buy some houses. I'll be like, are you insane? Can you not see what's happening? They're dropping the house rate so you could buy it, a house you can't afford. And as soon as you get in there, the homeowner insurance is gonna kill you. Nobody's gonna be spending money on health care. Some people have to because they have kids and children with special needs. It's always gonna be the narrative. No. You're gonna be caught in a what we call an endearing situation. Oh, there are a lot of us. Morning. Well, not playing the right game. You got to see where the future is headed. So most of you just want to play video games all day and think you're going to just make money playing video games. You know how many people are gaming for revenue? You know how many people who are gaming for revenue make any real money? Exactly, right? You know how many people who are gaming for recognition and they don't make any real money? You know how many people who are striving and makes no real money? You know how many people who are goal oriented that make no real money? You know how many people with skills galore and make no real money? Meaning that you have to have a complete analysis of yourself. What do you do that you're the best in the world at? Or better yet, what do you do that identifies that people will click and watch you before they watch somebody else? What do you do to bring that full circle? Now, you have to do an analysis of yourself to say, why am I unique? What makes you unique? And if you can't figure that out, then maybe you're doing the wrong thing. Everybody is not meant to do the same damn thing. And other people's motives, have you seen on here, are completely different. Some people's motive is just to make money. That's it. That's why they doing this for. They want to make some money. They want to be famous enough where they can get some money. It's all about the money. They don't care who learned something, helped somebody else. Nope. Money. They try to be cool with you. Yeah, okay, yeah, OG, yeah. All that fake shit. And in the end, they show their face and you see what they're about. All they care about is money. Granted, everyone needs money. But is that your driving force? Before there was money on YouTube, we were doing this. I would be at the break, on my lunch break, making videos in my car. Giving the most concise breakdowns you could ever get. But here's what's funny. Is when someone told me, yeah, you need to go back to boxing. Yeah, because I think you know about that. Go back to boxing? I tell you, these clowns are everywhere. I should go back to boxing. Did I leave it? You know I own a boxing website with Sean. Currently, by the way. Oh my God. We sent our people to the fights to cover the fights. But I need to go back to boxing. Somebody who has no experience, no knowledge of anything that's transpiring, no momentum, nothing, but gonna tell me what I need to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way it works, man. So the 1% are crushing it in a government shutdown. So you're looking at a very wealthy 1%. Of course, they're going to continue to crush it. Why wouldn't it? They've been making a fortune. So unless you're doing trading and coding, learning some type of construction or something that would benefit you just to so you could fall back on, so you would never be a useless individual. Do you want to consistently be a useless individual? You know how many useless people are out there? Well, this is what people do, you know? They get themselves enthralled and involved in things that they shouldn't. Then they go out in the world and try to get involved in things they know nothing about. I hear it all the time. These dudes try hard so much. They want to get in there, and sometimes they get indignant. They say things that they shouldn't. Then they try to blame other people. They do all kind of goofiness. That's why you got to stay sucker free. So you got real people out there like Blood Boxing, 78 Sports TV. You got Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez, Kwame Brown, Bus Life. You know, like everybody in their own zone. Welcome to HDI TV. You know, the many people who I've shouted out. Some who weren't even worthy of a shout out. What happens next? Well, the thing is that you have to start thinking outside of the President of the United States of America. You got to start thinking Senate, Congress, state legislators, all the branches, the judges. You got to start looking at your aldermen in charge of your ward, the people that actually do something for your community. You need to be involved. When they have these meetings, you need to know where they are. You need to organize. You got to say, hey, who's all in here? In these groups. The groups are there. Get the information. But you don't have 30, 40 minutes a day to waste, right? Because you got to watch the game. You got to go to the bar. You got to get drunk. Then complain because you just voted one way. You had an opportunity to get what you wanted. And I tell my buddy this all the time because he loved to throw in my face, Barack Obama ain't do nothing for the black people. He only did stuff for the gay people. I'm like, you know why? They were organized. They knew what they wanted. They knew how to organize it, put it together, and get what they wanted out of it. So that's where they got something. They knew how to present it. Now, in the second election, when y'all was saying we ain't getting nothing, and they said, okay, look, we got a chance here. I'm in office for the second term, but now the House of Representatives and the Senate, it's time to vote. Y'all got to come out and vote. Man, we already did our job. We got Obama back in here. And you sat out. And you let the Republicans win the House and the Senate. So now, he's at their mercy. So for 4 years while he's sitting in there, he can't do nothing for you. They're going to shoot it down because you didn't do your job. Y'all didn't go out and vote. And that's what they wanted you to do. Sit down, be distracted, not vote. Don't get involved. So they got the House and the Senate. This time they got the president, the House, Senate, but they need 60 votes. And they can't get them. So now they want to circumvent the rules. Yeah. Well, that's what they all say before the fall, isn't it? Everybody say that before the great fall. The fall of man. Multiple revenue streams, buddy. Oh, they're running a scam on you. Talking about they've increased jobs. They haven't increased jobs. It's just the average person is working like 4 or 5 jobs. You see, look, if you work for Lyft and Uber and you do DoorDash, you do Uber Eats and whatever other one, each one of those are considered an individual job. So that's how they're saying they increase jobs. When you know the person who's doing these jobs knows they ain't making a dime. They're not making a dime. Exactly. Forgot his school days. They were out here defending the tariffs. Yeah. And where did the tariff money go? To the billionaires. $700 billion they made. All 10 billionaires. They got 69.8 billion. More billions for them. They already don't even need the money. They could all take that 700 billion and say, you know what? We're gonna fund all this here in America. Just so they don't have to pay taxes. They would rather shut down medical hospitals that research cancer and everything. Shut down schools, education, the whole nine. Do you know the president's first goal when he gets into the White House? They have 3 things to choose for. That when they get in there for their first 90 days, that they want to tackle. The economy, education, healthcare. Those are the main 3. This is the first time in history a sitting president decided to touch immigration as his main focus for over 90 days. He is not focused on healthcare. He did not focus on education. He did not focus on the economy. He focused on immigration. Jesus Christ. America's not even a business. It's a warehouse plant. It's one big gigantic Walmart. We got a whole bunch of stuff from everywhere else. Look in your house. Everything you got in your house is made from places that ain't from the United States of America. But yet, the person in the house gonna stick an American flag in the ground, fly high, and everything in your house made in Taiwan, made in Korea, made in China. You see all them freight trains coming by. You see all them China freights. You sitting there stuck by the train. You watch them freights go by. What did it say? Damn near the whole house they got from IKEA. And talking about, I'm a real American. You're a real American, then go buy American. You ain't gonna do that. You're gonna get that couch you got. I bought it here in America, but it was made in Taiwan. It's like, what are you gonna do? You know? What are you gonna do? No. The majority of the people who are in this game, they realize one or two things right away. First, they realize that they're in a game they can't win. So, if you know it's like playing Monopoly. I told you. If you're playing Monopoly, okay, if you're playing Monopoly, let's say you're playing a board game and you guys are playing Monopoly, and you want this to go to the next level, right? You're saying to yourself, I need this thing to go to the next level. How are you going to get there? What is the approach for you getting there? I want to upgrade. How do you go from houses to hotels? Right? It's all about the policies that's governing you, the policies that you're living by, right? Meaning that if you play by the rules of you can buy houses and hotels immediately without going around the board once before you decide to do it, it's all fair game. So it's about the rules you're playing under. You have to adjust for the game that you're playing. What they call a short game, and other ones they call it the long game. That you can start right off buying a hotel. Don't have to even buy a house if you want. Go straight to a hotel. The long game, you have to buy the houses first. And after you acquire 4 houses on each property, then you can move to the hotel. See, back in old school real estate in the 80s, that used to be golden. Buying hotels. They bought a couple of businesses, and then they sold those businesses and moved those businesses to buy hotels. So they kept leveling up. So yes, it looks like that's the smartest thing you could ever do. But in reality, it's not the smartest thing you could do in modern times. So you might listen to some multi-millionaire guy. He might have wrote a book. He might have done a seminar. He might have been speaking. He might have done all of these wonderful things, right? But at the end of the day, he got rich in the 80s. He got in the 80s. And what he did in the 80s is not going to work in 2025. That's dated. The method is dated. And if you did that method, you're going to get nowhere fast. And you're to burn through all your revenue praying and wishing on a star. I've seen it happen. And we're going to talk about that more on the Patreon. How good advice turned into bad advice. It was good advice in the 80s. Bad advice in 2025. The cheating game. They cheating. And if you're not cheating in Monopoly, then you're not playing Monopoly. Of course you cheat in Monopoly. When you roll the dice, you don't actually go the number that's wrong on the dice. You got to know how to tap the board when you're walking. You might tap 8 times, but you might tap one space 2 times. You got to learn how to take the advantages when they come. That was in one of my early raps I've ever made. The Black Alex Keaton. Never played a game of Monopoly without cheating. That was in one of my first ever rhymes. The Black Alex Keaton. Take Baltic. Hey. Well, you got to think about this for a moment. People's obsessions, right? You start looking at obsessions and you start saying to yourself, okay, you're doing okay for yourself. You got to get in, you got to get out. You need to get in, and then you got to get out, right? So if the wealthy 1% is not concerned about the economy and the people in it, why are you concerned about billionaires? Don't be. What you need to be concerned about is the information. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm all right. You need to be concerned about the information you can acquire so that you can move forward. Yeah, well, it's like this. If you start thinking about the taxes, how much is the tax? You're gonna be so much in the hole you're not tax exempt. If you're not tax exempt, what is the point? That's like they make let's say you can get an Audi for $12,000. You was like, man, that's an Audi, dog. I'm gonna drive me an Audi. It's only 12. Why would I spend 10 on that Chevy? I can get this Audi for 12. That's only 2,000 more. I'm gonna get this Audi. Then you get the Audi, then you realize that the Chevy that's 10, oil change is $35. You take the Audi in for oil change, they're gonna say $175. You gonna go, whoa. 175? They're gonna be like, yeah, for this whole thing, that's only gonna run you about 800. You want us to flush the engine and put in more, trans fluid. We could do that for you. They're gonna go, okay, wait, okay. All right, hold on. One moment. They're gonna go and talk. And once they talk, they're gonna come in and put their heads together and say, hey, we got a problem here. See, the maintenance is what's going to hurt you. So yes, the home is not the problem. The affordability of the house isn't the problem. What's going to hurt you is the maintenance. To maintain the house, to be able to pay the taxes on the house. The taxes are going to keep going up every year. You can't afford to live there anymore because the taxes is crushing you. Not the mortgage. It's the taxes. You're like, man, I got no tax relief. And that's going to keep going up. Now you got insurance rates. You got kids, you got to have insurance. Guess what? You're broke. So now what? You can't go kick it. Retail markets, you can't afford to buy clothes. So the retail market shuts down. You're stuck. Congratulations. You, my friend, is what we call stuck. Oh, don't get no better than that, homeboy. Don't get no better than that, playboy. It get no better than that. Now, here's what I want you to put this little bee in your bonnet so that you can understand it. If all of these people are scheming and making moves for success, and hit the like button too if you're here. Now, if all these people are scheming and scamming for success, why aren't you? If all these people are hustling to make ends meet, why aren't you? Remember when everybody was selling weed, thinking that was going to be their gateway to getting rich? How many people you know got rich selling weed? And I mean, I know dudes that had pounds. They wasn't getting rich. They had Jordans. They got clean shoes, leather coats, and gold chains. And guns. But not rich. See hood to hood? I was in hood to hood. See hood to hood. My barber is in hood to hood when they come to Chicago. And I'm like, what is he doing there? Hey. I remember those days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the memories. I like forcing companies to build in America and stopping them from terroristing us with no pushback. P, here's the thing. Okay, you're going to tariff them, right? There's other ways to do that without using tariffs. But okay, let's try your method. You're going to tariff these people and say, we're going to force you to build here in America. They already were building here in America. But here's the thing. They're giving out no jobs. To whom? You're still getting the same product. You're just having it made here in America, and they're still getting the same tax write-off. So they're not going to pay the big tariff because they're going to be building it. They're saying, hey, it's just like the car companies, right? Honda put a dealership over here, and they're distributing the cars here. And they're saying, oh, we're building the cars here. No, they're not. They're shipping the cars here. And they're selling it on the lot. Same way. So they say, oh, we're going to get a warehouse here. And then we're going to build Hondas here. Yeah, right. How many Americans you know building Hondas? They sell them. They ain't building them. How many Americans you see making Mercedes? They sell them. They're not making them. You see, we've given up that power many years ago for money. Now we see, oh shit, that power was really powerful. We've lost our position. China's finna loop us. We're not gonna be the mega power no more. They finna pass us up. That's right. China is gonna pass up the United States, and that's gonna be a sad day because they're already the wealthiest country. They just quiet about it. And they did it all under the noses of the United States. And now when they build this railing system and they're gonna cut the United States out completely, they don't have to go through the United States to ship to anything anymore. All the United States has become is one big doggone dump site so they can sell all their products to. We're a distribution hub, not a manufacturer. We gave that up. Look at all the warehouse towns, all the towns that's dried up. Go look it up. Youngstown, Ohio. All of these steel mills closed, shut down, rusted, done. General Motors, all the Chevrolet plants closed. CNC machines closed. The hundreds of thousands of jobs. Those steel mills, they used to take care of an entire town. Now the whole towns are like bankrupt. And you can get a house for like $2,000 in those towns. There's still people that live in those towns. It's like a ghost town. Go look it up. They're there. Just like this house here. Look like a beautiful house until you look at it in the yard and there's nothing there. Nobody's going in and out. And the house next to it is immaculate. But the house next to it is just filthy. No. Because if people really cared, that wouldn't even be a thing. What you just said wouldn't even make sense. I'm very well vested in AI tech. Thanks for noticing. But more importantly, I'm investing in things that the wealthy 1% that just got this 700 billion. I'm investing in things that they need. So them purchasing it or renting it won't be a problem because they need it. Just a matter of being patient and playing the long game. Yes, very much so. So go over to the Patreon, my Carcino for Life Patreon, and I'll expand on it rather. What I was actually talking about when I was talking about when good advice turned into bad advice. Yeah, we're gonna do that. And for the members here on love and appreciate all of you. We out.